All right, guys, does everybody have this before I get started? Anybody need a copy? Nobody took an extra copy from the back when they already had one in their folder, right? All right. So it starts with review of graphing. You need 3 nice ordered pairs, and they don't have to be nice as in fit on the graph. They just have to be nice as in labeled. So what are some things we could put in that would help us graph this? You obviously could type it in your calculator and find some points. I'm okay with that. But 4 to the -1, 4 to the 0, 4 to the 1, could we just do those 3?
Yeah.
What's 4 to the -1? Nope.
No.
4 to the -1 is 1 over 4. Moves to the denominator. So -1, 1/4. Okay. 0. I'm not going to label that one because it's pretty clear where it is. And 1. What if we went out as far as 2? Yeah, -2 would be 1/16 and 2. So this one is really increasing very quickly. But you just need this general shape and arrows on both ends. It will look on the calculator like it ends, but it does not end. All right, domain. Yes, you can put anything in to the exponent here. Positive, negative, fraction, 0, anything. But when you take a positive number to a power, what are you going to get out? Only positive numbers. So from bottom to top, this is, yes, and it does not touch 0. Make sure it's a parenthesis. So the asymptote is what? Yeah, but you can't just write 0.
Why?
Yes, it is the x-axis, or y equals 0. And the intercept that we found was 0, 1. Everybody okay? That one's not too bad. All right, then it talks about transformations. Number 2 says, what if you shifted it left 3 and down 8? What would you do to this if it went left 3? Where does that go? Inside, but what is inside? Yeah, on the x here. So it's would be 4 to the x plus 3 because it's left. And then the whole thing down 8 would be what? -8 here on the whole function. All right, I just want to talk about this because there's the questions on the quiz aren't necessarily the same. What if it had said that same number 1 here over the x-axis and down 3? Over the x-axis would be negative on the whole function, right? So we would have if we wanted it to then go down 3 after we flipped it? No, because it's number 6, but I wanted to do it for both this one and the over the x-axis and down 3 would be back here. Yes, that's right. That's the order you should write it in anyway. So, all right, I'm not gonna. You could put parentheses here or just around the 4 or even around the -4 to the x. It wouldn't matter. Okay. Anybody else have a question? You don't need parentheses on that one. I would probably have put parentheses up here just to show that that's all in the exponent, but it's okay as long as it's clear the way we've written it. All right, moving on. Number 3 says write an exponential function to model this situation. It doesn't ask you to solve these, guys. That's just an exercise in typing. And last year we gave this as a no calculator quiz, so we just didn't bother to have you put it in. So it's just writing the function. In 2010, there was a population of 738 bears that is decreasing at a rate of 4.2%, where X is the number of years since 2010. So what's that going to look like? Pink sheet. It doesn't say continuously anywhere, so you're just doing exponential growth or decay. So what's the original? $738 bears. 1 minus 0.042, good job, to the X, and that's it. No, you don't have to do anything. If it asked what was the population in 2015, nope. Then you'd have to do 2015 minus 2010 is 5 years later, so you would just put a 5 in up here. Okay, but you don't have to do anything on the quiz. It's an easy question. Write an expression that would calculate the future value of an account starting with $8,200 that is earning interest at an annual rate of 3.5% compounded quarterly and is left in for X years. Not a finance question, not even a calculator question, because it just says write an expression. All right, read it carefully, because it could be like a continuous interest question tomorrow or something, but this one is just compounded quarterly. So what's this going to look like? Anybody? Okay, it already says future value equals 8,200 1 plus anybody awake? 0.035. Quarterly means 4. Yeah, to the 4x or x times 4. Yes, he's here. Xander, this is for you.
Why is it bracket?
It is a parenthesis. That's just my bad parenthesis. Sorry about that. Is it? One side is a bracket or both? No idea why. Just the way it was typed. Everybody good? All right. Then we move on to the second section of the quiz, which is logs. Now, you can do this on your calculator. If you remember how. Remember where the log base is? So you could type it in and find some ordered pairs. I'm not going to do it that way because I want you to understand how this all works, but if I wrote this, what could I do here? The 2 out front is kind of bothering me. If I just did log base 2 of x equals y, it would be 2 to the y equals x. So if I put in some y values, if I put in 0, 1, and -1, I'd get 2 to the 0 is 1, 2 to the 1 is 2, 2 to the -1 is 1/2. But then there's this 2 out front. So that's going to stretch it up twice as far. It's still going to cross at 1, 0, right? But at 2 instead of 1, it's going to be 2. And at 1/2 instead of -1, it's going to be -2. All right. So it's 2 math up log base 2 of x. So some ordered pairs, yikes. 2244. If I was to trace, if I was to trace to like negative 0.5, I'm sorry, or to positive 0.5, it would be down at negative 2. So 1/2 negative 2, 1, 0, and 2, 2. I have it right on mine, I think. So my ordered pairs were 1, 0, 2, 2, and 1/2 negative 2 after I multiplied them all by 2 on the y because of this 2 out here. All right. If I went out to like 4 for x, let's see, 2y would be 2, but then I would double it, so it would be at 4, yes? All right. Anyway, you get to use your calculator to your finest moment, because you had to do these kind of questions without a calculator last year. So somewhere you need those ordered pairs, whether it's on a little table or labeled on the graph. Domain, guys? Okay. Range? Asymptote? Y-axis, which is x equals 0, and the intercept? Yeah, there's a x-intercept, 1, 0. Questions? Worksheet 7.5, or is it 8.5? No, it's 7.5. Has more graphing practice on this, okay? There's a couple more with the answers are on the back. It's in your packet, worksheet 7.5, if you need more practice with the graphing. Number 6 says, what would you do to this to reflect it over the x-axis and down 3? Okay, so you put a negative on the 2 and down 3. Okay, on the whole thing, a minus 3. So I'm thinking you should put a parenthesis here to show it's not on the x, okay? Then I wanted to go back and talk about what if it had said this. Take this one, you don't have this, but what if it had said left 3 and down 8? Plus 3 inside here, and then on the back, a minus 8. Okay, I just want you to see the kind of things that are going on, the difference in each kind, because it could be the other way around on the quiz where you flipped one and stretched one, whatever. Any questions? All right, what about 7? Just rewrite. Remember the annoying man on the video? Log base b of a number equals p. B to the power equals. So what are we doing here? If you get these wrong, guys, this is a huge concept error. Okay, how do you rewrite this one? Log what? Make sure the p is a subscript of some number equals the exponent r. Everybody good? Don't miss those. All right. So those are supposed to help us do these, that in your salmon colored sheet. But I will tell you, I'm not taking your calculator away. But what is log base 9 of 9? It means 9 to what power is 9? So it's 1, right? Oh, I know what. On the quiz, I think it says you have to rewrite these. Oh, it does say right there. Sorry, I didn't have a blank, so I forgot about it. You would write 9 to what power, and you can put an X or a box or whatever you want there, equals 9, and then you would say it's 1. How would you rewrite this one? 4 to something equals 1 over 256. And again, I don't care if you put a box or whatever. So try 4 to the what? -3, -4. Is it -4? Guys, could you type this on the home screen using your log base button? Just so you know, okay? Log base 4 of parentheses 1 over 256 will give you the answer. What about this one? 4 to what power equals -64? Huh? Keep thinking because it isn't going to get you anywhere. 4 to the -3 would be 1 over 64. It's not possible. You can't take the log of a negative number. And there's one on the quiz, so you just have to write not possible. Nice try, Hoffbauer. Somebody writes me a note. Okay. 2 to what power, guys, is 1? 0. 3 to what power is 81? 4. Remember, you get to use your calculator. Does everybody know what I'm talking about when I'm saying you could just type those in? If you just, what was the last question, guys? It was log base 3 of 81. Everybody good? Okay. Now this section, can't use your calculator. We're supposed to condense. How do we condense these? Right, ln once. Then what? Okay. X. Yes, times the quantity a plus 4 and just leave it like that. Divided by, oops, wait a minute. That's wrong. Okay, it's the log of, divided by, okay, is he right, guys? What does the minus mean? Okay. Why not? If I took a negative out, wouldn't it say ln of 3 plus ln of m, which means they're multiplied together, but both in the denominator? Be very careful because you're going to have to go in the other direction too.
So is that wrong?
No, yours is right. Okay. What about this? Guys, what does the 1/2 power mean? Well, first of all, 1/2 multiplied in front means it's a power, right? And the 1/2 power is square root. So you need to write it as a square root. Don't write it as a 1/2 power. Now, this one is a log base 5. Now, what are we doing?
Log base 5.
Square root of m, okay. Where does square root b go? It is on the top because it's plus, so we could have put it in front if we wanted. The only thing that says it goes to the denominator is the 7. Now, is there a better way to write that? You could put both the m and b in the same radical, okay? Yeah. No, it's the log of the whole quantity, so, okay. Because it's the log, is not being divided by 7. All right, what about 16? Expand the goodness out of this one. Log base 7 of 5. Then it's times, so we write plus log base 7 of x. Then it's times
plus 1.
Okay, so this was a log b to the 1/4 power, and then this guy went out in front. Are they right?
Yeah.
Those crazy boys, okay. What about this one? It's a 4 here, and then we move it out here, okay? I'm in trouble already because I have no room to write this. Now what? Minus log 8. Is there another way I could have written that would be correct? Yeah, I could have said log of 9 plus 4 log of x, and then in the denominator, there's a log 8 times, so plus 2 log y, as long as you have those parentheses indicating all of it is in the denominator, okay? Everybody good with one way or the other? All right. What can we do to help us solve this? If we didn't have a calculator, not taking it away from you, but this 2 could move out front, right? So we'd have 2 times 4. What's the log base 5 of 25, guys? 5 to what power is 25? This is all 2, so we have a 2 times a 4 times a 2, which would be 16. All right, what's the square root of 16? This is just 4. So 2 to what power is 4 makes the answer 2. Remember, I'm not taking your calculator away. Yes. All right, on this one, how about 4 times, can we do that in our head? What is 3 to what power is 9? So that's a 2. Minus, how about if we move this 5 out front with that one? So we'd have a 5 times a 5 times, what's log base 3 of 3? So now we're down to 8 minus 25 is negative 17. Did anyone type all that garbage in and get negative 17? Or not? Did you type it and not get that? This one's tricky to type, I'm thinking. It was 4 log base of what, guys? No, 3 of 9. Okay. Then it was minus 5 log base 3 of 3 to the 5th. So negative 17, okay? So type those in carefully. Does anybody know what the cubed root of 64 is? It's 4. So we have a 5 times, this is log base 2 of 4. So 2 to what power equals 4?
Second.
So 5 times that would be 10. All right. Any questions since I'm not taking your calculator away? Pretty sure I just not only said that, but I showed it.
Yeah, I know that.
Okay. Raquel deposited $375 each month. As soon as you see each month, you know what? It's a monthly payment, which means you're going to need your app. Okay? N I P V P M T F B, and then those other two, whatever order they're in at the bottom. Okay. Pays 3.2% interest. What is the value after 20 years? Okay. Who wants to tell me what to fill in here? N is
And
okay. I is 3.2, not 0.032. PV is no, guys. This is what's going to mess you up. PV and FV. When you have an annuity, you're starting with nothing and making payments of $375, and you want to know the future value. Okay? When you borrow money, how much you borrowed is the present value, and the future value is 0. Okay, and we're doing monthly, so these are 12 and 12. All right, one more time. It is apps, enter, enter. This was 12 times 20 or 240, right? Somebody remind me, what was the interest? 3.2? And the payment was $375? And so the future value we want, anybody get 125,000 something? Okay. Remember, we're not writing down the negative when you give me your answer. You would just say $125,840.55. How much did she actually put in? So she actually put in 375, 240 times, right? So she put in 90,000. So she gained about almost 36,000 in interest. All right. 21. When Lamar was born, his grandma put $4,000 in account, paying 6.1% interest quarterly, compounded quarterly. How much money will be available for use to college after 17 years? 17 years later. Okay. Is she making payments? Nope. Do we need to use the app then? We could trick the app into working, but it's just a quarterly compound interest question. So the present value or the starting value was $4,000. 1 plus 0.061 divided by 4 to the power of 4 times 17. Anybody getting 11,000 something? Okay. So it's not a fortune, but it might help him pay his expenses for college, right? Not his tuition, at least his books and food and whatever. All right. Last one, to finance their new home. The Strumps have agreed to a $165,000 mortgage at 11% interest. What will their monthly payment be if the loan has a term of 35 years? And what is the total paid for their home, including interest? Okay, so we kicked those Strumps out of the White House, and they could only afford a $165,000 mortgage. And they're so poor they can only finance it for 35 years. And because of the damage they've done to our country, it's at 11% interest. No political commentary from the front of the room. It's an app question, right? So 35 times 12. I is 11%. Present value is 165,000. Payment is what we're trying to figure out. Future value at the end of 35 years is 0. And these are both 12. All right, I just totally forgot everything I did, so someone's going to have to help me. What was the interest? 11%? Wow. Did someone else get that big number? Yes, every month. 11% interest is outrageous. But it used to be that way. I think the first house I bought was at 11% interest. Just the economy was at a different place. All right, so the monthly payment is $1,545.98. So how are we going to figure out what they paid for their whole house after 35 years? Yeah. Okay, so someone remind me of that number because I'm not going to remember it. 1545.98? Okay, times 35 years, right, of monthly payments. They paid $649,000 for their house when it was all said and done. Those poor little strumps. That's why you don't borrow money for that long if you can help it. Well, we talked yesterday about what happens when you rent, though. You don't get to write any of the money off on your taxes, and you don't have anything to show for it at the end. What if they... You go home and thank your mama and daddy that they're paying your mortgage for you. What else can I help with?